All right, so we're just going to go at this. We're going to go at the next lesson in the Course of Miracles. I'll tell you a little story, actually. I was all fired up to do this today. I'm super excited. I'm still super excited. Don't get me wrong. But I realized I listened to the wrong lesson. I went into the app that I have in the description down below, by the way. If you want an app to actually listen to it instead of read it for whatever reason, I like to meditate. I like to listen to it and meditate. And you can do it in the morning, at night. You can do it anytime. Like I said, it's in the description below this. You can click more. I think you'll see below the video, and there's resources down there for you. But I started to, I was like, oh my gosh, lesson 137, man, has really hit me. I listened to it. I was doing some stuff around the house. I'm like, I'm going to throw this on and listen to this. And it was so good. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to get on here. I'm going to record this. And then I realized that I must have got out of whack because I have my schedule's kind of changed a little. My life hasn't been really running the same for a little while, and I'm still adjusting. And I realized that I hadn't done 136 for the channel yet. So we're going to dial it back and stick with lesson 136 today. But with 137, I know is going to be another great one. So anyway, I did want to share, before I jumped in, I did want to share a little bit about kind of been awakening to what my purpose and mission is here. Just in general in the world, you know, everything I touch, everything I do, but also on this channel. And it's really to bring purpose and meaning and healing and truth to whoever comes to it, whoever touches it, whoever listens to this. Because I don't want to jump too far ahead and whatever, but as lesson 137 says, we don't heal alone. You know, when we heal others. And I'm just really on this like really deep mission. This channel is for the deep thinkers. This is for the people who really want to go get life, really want to not play small, not be average, really understand deeper the world they live in, how to navigate and how to show up. And then once you start doing that, once you start realizing who you really are and what the truth is, because we've been so guided off track if we've allowed that to happen through the systematic stuff. Massive lies on a scale that no one would believe. And this course here lays out what's important. I don't want to focus on the mainstream stuff, the system stuff. I just want to disassociate, unattach, let go, and move on with what's really important and what's really going to help me heal and show up free, like free as a bird, like free. Letting go of everything along the way. And I can't even tell you in words some of the stuff I'm waking up to and you know, happening in my life. And a lot of things are happening, transpiring. This course is part of it. So I'm gonna move forward. I just wanted to talk about a little bit why I'm doing this, right? I want to be of service to humanity. I want to be a conduit for God, for what is, for Holy Spirit, for the universe, for nature, for the field, unified field, whatever you, higher power, higher self, whatever you want to name it or label it, it doesn't matter. And get into living into that, heal, be free, and the more you do that, the more things that you'll touch, everything you come around you will inspire. In some way, shape, or form. You may never even know it. And it talks about that in lesson 137 a little bit. But we're going to dial it back to 136 today. So, lesson 136, A Course in Miracles. Sickness is a defense against the truth. Sickness is a defense against the truth. Paragraph 1. No one can heal unless he understands what purpose sickness seems to serve. For then he understands as well its purpose has no meaning. Being causeless and without a meaningful intent of any kind, it cannot be at all. When this is seen, healing is automatic. It dispels this meaningless illusion by the same approach that carries all of them to truth and merely leaves them there to disappear. Basically, as you move through life and come to more of the truth and universal laws and understanding how everything functions, and you start working with it, everything else will fall away. Everything, all the other crap in your life, what doesn't belong, is if you're living into what is and following your intuition and following what the universe has for you, what God has for you, for what all that is has for you, paying attention to that, all else will fall away. And sickness, thinking that you're sick, this has been a huge one in my life. Still going on to a certain extent. Letting go. I continue to just let go. The more I let go, the more I wake up, the more I realize, the healthier I feel. I've shared in these videos some of the stuff that I've, been going through. So that paragraph 1 is basically saying that this is an illusion. Sickness is an illusion. Once you start waking up to how the universe wants you to live your life and tuning into that, right? Because you wouldn't do a lot of the self-abusing things that you're doing if you were living into that. So paragraph 2, sickness is not an accident. Like all defenses, it is an insane device for self-deception. And like all the rest, its purpose is to hide reality, attack it, change it, render it inept, distort it, twist it, or reduce it to a little pile of unassembled parts. I just love some of this stuff, the way this course lays this out sometimes. The aim of all defenses is to keep the truth from being whole. So the sickness is there to distort your to distort your perception. The parts are seen as if each one were whole within itself. Paragraph 3. Defenses are not unintentional, nor are they made without awareness. They are secret magic wands you wave when truth appears to threaten what you would believe. They seem to be unconscious, but because of the rapidity with which you choose to use them, so it comes so fast. It's like, I used to have, I learned this a long time ago. When I was doing a certain kind of coaching program or learning from a certain person, they would talk about how quick the subconscious part of us, it's so much, it's just moves so much faster than the conscious mind. That's what it's saying here. And defenses, you could just basically say, is the ego. That's what I was thinking when I read that. Defenses are unintentional, nor are they made without awareness. They're secret magic wands you wave when truth appears. When you wave them when truth appears, when truth comes, the ego goes, oh, I don't want that. That's why you see people get triggered. That's why you see people say, I don't want to talk about this anymore, or walk away, or get angry. Anger is another way to deflect, which you could call sickness, really. Right? I know anger has played a large role in my life, and so they seem to be unconscious, but because of the rapidity, how fast it is, how fast it comes up, with which you choose to use them, in that second, even less, right? Even that in that millisecond that this stuff comes up, this automaticness of us, right? That's why I used to say a lot that we're conditioned and programmed. It's like a computer program running fast, in which the choice is made. You recognize exactly what you would attempt to do and then proceed to think that it is done. Paragraph 4. Who but yourself evaluates a threat, decides escape is necessary, and sets up a series of defenses to reduce the threat that has been judged as real? All this cannot be done unconsciously, but afterwards your plan requires that you must forget you made it. So it seems to be external to your own intent. a happening beyond your state of mind. I'm sorry, let me go back. But afterwards, your plan requires that you must forget you made it, so it seems to be external to your own intent. A happening beyond your state of mind, an outcome with a real effect on you, instead of one affected by yourself. So, I mean, this is just, I think that paragraph, I mean, I don't know if I took it all and whatever perfectly. Obviously, it's not meant to be perfect, but, or maybe it is. Everything sure does seem to be perfect when the more awake you become. You see how things do work perfectly, divinely, and you're divinely guided. Excuse me. But I think this paragraph's kind of saying, we're taking responsibility for these choices that are, I've been saying lately a lot that moment to moment to moment, we have these choices. Choose my last video that I did, choose relentlessly God, choose relentlessly love, right? Because you're going to have this come up a lot, like they're saying here, rapidly. Paragraph 5. It is this quick forgetting of the part you play in making your own reality, that makes defenses seem to be beyond your own control. Like you think you're not control. You think this is, you're not making these choices, or like, that's what I'm taking from that, right? Like make defenses beyond your own control. But what you have forgot can be remembered, given willingness to reconsider the decision, which is doubtedly shielded by oblivion. You're not remembering is but the sign that this decision still remains in force, as far as your desires are concerned. Mistake not this for fact. Defenses must make facts unrecognizable. They aim at doing this, and it is this they do. So basically saying that these defenses, the ego, are basically hiding the truth from you. And the more you awaken to that, the more that you awaken to the fact that you've created this false self, this egoic self, and you're letting that run the show instead of the God self, the higher self, the loving self, the unconditional love that I speak of at the end of these videos. Paragraph 6. Every defense takes fragments of the whole. So every defensive way you are, it's fragmenting you. It's making you feel less whole, less of what you truly are. Every defense takes fragments of the whole, assembles them without regard to all their true relationships, and thus constructs illusions of a whole that is not there. So it's creating a false, like I just spoke before, it's creating a false self, a false reality. It is this process that imposes threat, and not whatever outcome may result. Right? So, I mean, I'm like, let me stop there for a second. So it's like, this is a threat to your, this is a threat to, living the way you could be living, right? This awesome free way, right? It's threatening that. And instead of whatever outcome would just come if you just lived into all that it is and let go, right? Just let go of your defenses. When parts are wrested from the whole and seen as separate and wholes within themselves, they become symbols standing for attack upon the whole, successful in effect, and never to be seen as whole again. And yet you have forgotten that they stand before your own decision of what should be real to take the place of what is real. So these, again, just false self, false beliefs. You're not seeing what's true about you and the world around you. Paragraph 7. Sickness is a decision. That's a big 4-word sentence right there. It is not a thing that happens to you. I say this a lot. I've said this a lot in the past. This was a big realization for me years ago, was life is happening for me, not to me. Getting out of that victimness. Whoa, that's a big step. You do that, you shift into that one. Now you're cooking with gas. Now you're ready, right? Now things are happening. It's not it is not a thing that happens to you quite unsought, which makes you weak and brings you suffering. It is a choice you make, a plan you lay, when for an instant truth arises in your own deluded mind, and all your world appears to totter and prepare to fall. Right? So truth comes, and it's like defense mode, ego flares, triggered, I'm going the other direction, I'm running, my thing was out. You know, if you've watched my videos, you know my thing was alcohol. I ran and hid in the bottle for years and years and years until about a decade ago. And then I woke up and then you can listen to the video. It's on my channel. Whatever your thing is, you know. Paragraph 8. How do you think that sickness can succeed in shielding you from truth? Because it proves the body is not separate from you. And so you must be separate from the truth. You suffer pain because the body does. And in this pain are you made one with it. Thus is your true identity preserved. And the strange, haunting thought that you might be something beyond this little pile of dust silenced and stilled. For see, this dust can make you suffer, twist your limbs and stop your heart, commanding you to die and cease to be. Right? A lot of this is between the ears, right? Body, what I have learned outside of this and what I believe this course is also teaching is body needs to be servant to the, once the mind's right, let's just start there. Once the mind's right, once the mind's healed, this was in another lesson, the body will be right with it. Whatever it is, whatever is in your mind, the body will be it. So if it's unhealed and it's looking and it's sick, the body will be it. With it. Heal the mind, heal the body. Paragraph 9. Thus is the body stronger than the truth, which asks you live, but cannot overcome your choice to die. And so the body is more powerful than everlasting life. Heaven more frail than hell, and God's design for the salvation of his Son, opposed by a decision stronger than his will. His Son is dust. The Father, incomplete and chaos, sits in triumph on his throne. Paragraph 10. Such is your planning for your own defense, and you believe that heaven quails before such mad attacks at these. With God made blind by your illusions, truth turned into lies, and all the universe made slave to laws which your defenses would impose on it. Yet who believes illusions but the one who made them up? Ha! That'd be me. That'd be you. That'd be any human. I would think, I'm going to just go out on a limb and say any human living here, because I think once it's all gone, once we've woken up completely, we're out of here. Who else can see them and react to them as if they were the truth? Paragraph 11. God knows not of your plans to change his will. He doesn't know anything about the false self, the thing you've created with the ego. God doesn't know anything of that. He only knows love, unconditional love, truth, universal law. The universe remains unheeding of the laws by which you thought to govern it. And heaven has not bowed to hell, nor life to death. You can but choose to think you die, or suffer sickness, or distort the truth in any way. What is created is apart from all of us. Defenses are plans to defeat what cannot be attacked. What is unalterable cannot change, and what is wholly sinless cannot sin. That's us. That's God. That's all that is. That's love. Paragraph 12. Such is the simple truth. It does not make appeal to might nor triumph. It does not command obedience, nor seek to prove how pitiful and futile your attempts to plan defenses that would alter it. Truth merely wants to give you happiness, for such its purpose is. Perhaps it sighs a little when you throw away its gifts, and yet it knows with perfect certainty that what God wills for you must be received. Paragraph 13. It is this fact that demonstrates that time is an illusion. For time lets you think what God has given you is not the truth right now, as it must be. So we're all kind of doing this, and I've kind of figured this one out for myself too. And I still, you'll hear me talk, and I'm still in it. It's amazing how all this works. You know, we are this. We are all that is. When we're out in the body, that's what we are. It's always there. We're never separated from it. But we think we are, and we're here, and we're living, and we're watching with our senses, and we're like, what? Wait a second. What are you talking about? Crazy. This is crazy, right? Unbelievable, this experience, this human experience. I say this to my friend all the time. It's crazy divine. It's unbelievably divine. Where was I? I'm getting all fired up in this one. I'm just going to start paragraph 13 again. It is this fact to demonstrate that time is an illusion. For time lets you think that what God has given you is not the truth right now, as it must be. The thoughts of God are quite apart from time. For time is but another meaningless defense you made against the truth. Yet what he wills is here, and you remain as he created you. Paragraph 14. Truth has a power far beyond defense. For no illusions can remain where truth has been allowed to enter. So when you let these truths enter your life, like I said before, I think I said earlier in this video, false, the people that aren't ready for it, or don't want it, will fall out of your lives. Anything that you're doing that doesn't resonate with that, isn't on that vibe, isn't ready for that, will fall away. It just won't align with you. You won't put up with it anymore. You'll say no. You'll set a boundary. That's what will happen. You'll say yes to this and no to this. Yes to this, no to this. Did I get to paragraph 14 here? Truth has power far beyond defense, for no illusions can remain where truth has been allowed to enter. Yeah, that's where I was. And it comes to any mind that would lay down its arms and cease to play with folly. A lot of folly going on in this world. A lot of folly going on in this illusional world, and in this kind of, I want to say, I don't know. I was going to say dark agenda, right? There's this darker agenda. There's this darker force that's kind of gotten a stranglehold on things here. I'll just move on from that. It is found at any time today, if you will choose to practice giving welcome to the truth. Here's the practice. Here's the repetition. Here's making sure. And I'll tell you what, lesson 137 really hits home on this, and I can't wait to do it. I'm going to be anxious to get to that one. I don't know when I'll be able to, but I'm going to be anxious to. It just, the practice part, how we'll find ways, how the ego will find sneaky little manipulative ways to keep you away from this, all right? Pay attention to that. Do it anyway. That's why, some of the great people out there will be like, do it when you don't even want to do it. Do it anyway. And I'm not just talking about this course. There's a lot of things that applies to. So paragraph 15, this is our aim today. And we will give a quarter of an hour twice to ask the truth to come to us and set us free. This is time you're spending with God. This is time you're spending with what is. You're saying, I want it. Give it to me. I want to be it here, now, in this body. I want to experience that. I was just telling a friend of mine, I'm like, I don't say this to toot my own horn. I say this because I'm amazed at where I was and where I'm at now, right? Like, I'm amazed. I go out and about. I go to the grocery store. I'm looking for ways to serve. I'm looking to, can I help that old woman, elderly person pick up their groceries and put them in the trunk? Can I get something off the shelf for someone? Can I say something to the cashier to raise their vibe, to bring them a better day? How can I show up? How can I be God? How can I be love? How can I be it? Not just know of it and say, yeah, but be it. It merely waits for, hold on one second, I'm sorry. And truth will come, for it has never been apart from us. It merely waits for just this invitation which we give today. We introduce it with a healing prayer to help us rise above defensiveness and let truth be as it has always been. Here's the prayer. Sickness is a defense against the truth. I will accept the truth of what I am and let my mind be wholly healed today. Paragraph 16, healing will flash across your open mind. I've experienced this. As peace and truth arise to take the place of war and vain imaginings. There will be no dark corner sickness can conceal. Like the skeletons in the closet, the darkness, the shadow work that people talk about. There will be no dark corners sickness can conceal and keep defended from the light of truth. God, this course puts it down. Like, I haven't found anything better yet. So that's, and I'm dedicating to at least finish and at least going through this at least one time. I mean, it's going to be a part of me forever. And I won't doubt that I won't go back through them. Who knows what the future holds? I'm done predicting, or I'm done saying, whatever, But this course is powerful. It will be healed of all the sickly wishes that it tried to authorize the body to obey. Paragraph 17. Now is the body healed, because the source of sickness has been open to relief, and you will recognize you practiced well by this. The body should not feel at all. If you've been successful, there will be no sense of feeling ill or feeling well, of pain or pleasure. No response at all is in the mind. No response at all is in the mind to what the body does. Its usefulness remains and nothing more. Paragraph 18. Perhaps you do not realize that this removes the limits you had placed upon the body by the purposes you gave to it. As these are laid aside, the strength the body has will always be enough to serve all truly useful purposes. So whatever you've been put here to do, whatever your unique, beautiful purpose is, the body will now serve it. The body's health is fully guaranteed because it is not limited by time, by weather or fatigue, by food and drink, or any laws you made it serve before. You need to do nothing now to make it well, for sickness has become impossible. This is basically stating, and I'm still on a journey of experimentation with this and everything in my life, that this is 100% in between your ears. That's what I just took out of that. It's 100% in your mind. Mind right, body right. Mind truth, body truth. Paragraph 19, yet this protection needs to be preserved by careful watching. If you let your mind harbor attack thoughts, yield to judgment, or make plans against uncertainties to come, you have again misplaced yourself and made a bodily identity which will attack the body, for the mind is sick. And this, for me, is a very moment-to-moment process, what that just said right there. Right? Right here, let's read this again. It says, preserved by careful watching. Observing, whatever word you're... If you let your mind harbor attack thoughts, which most of us do, yield to judgment, even judgment of, your own thinking, I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, I'm fat, I don't like my nose, I don't like this, I don't like that, my feet are too big, I'm too short, this, that, and the other thing, Nancy down the road, and, Jimbo they don't like me, all this, those are attack thoughts, those are judgments, and you make plans against uncertainties to come. That's a biggie for me. So I have a problem. I have a challenge in my life where I've had issues with what the system, what we would label anxiety or panic attacks and things like that in my life. Right there, boom. Make plans against uncertainties to come, right? So this is a deeper topic to get into. Maybe I'll share in a different video, but like, say you went somewhere and it wasn't a good experience. That's not always going to happen again, but there's something in us that can hang on, right? To say that's going to happen again. You know, you're not even there yet, and you're having thoughts about how it's going to be crappy or this is going to happen again or whatever the case is for you, right? I'm just kind of sharing from my own personal perspective. You do these things, you have again misplaced yourself and made a bodily identity which will attack the body, for the mind is sick. So that is, you listen to that again as many times as you need to. Read it in the book as many times as you need to. Whatever you got to do. But right there, somewhere in there lies something for anyone and everyone, right? Whatever your thing is, however you're doing that. Undo it. This tablet, my kid's tablet. Excuse me, 1 second. Hold on 1 minute. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second here. Is it that? Okay. Sorry about that. Tablet starts just playing on its own. Anyway, it's all good. Right, that was massive. I kind of got drawn off track there, but I had already kind of stated what I wanted to state there. So paragraph 20, we're almost done here. Give instant remedy should this occur by not allowing your defensiveness to hurt you longer. Do not be confused about what must be healed, but tell yourself, and here's the last prayer in the last part of the lesson. I have forgotten what I really am, for I mistook my body for myself. Sickness is a defense against the truth, but I am not a body. I am not a body, and my mind cannot attack. So I cannot be sick. That's the end of the lesson. All kinds of absolute goodness in there. Truth. Things to help you live a better life. To snap out of. This stuff's massive. This is a shift in how to approach, to think, how to approach the world, etc. So, as always, I'm always working towards and coming from a place of unconditional love, working towards becoming more of that thing that we are already, right? It's just we found a way to trick ourselves. We are the miracle. The next lesson, like I said, is about, healing. We don't heal alone. As we heal others automatically. It's just how it works, right? The people God will present you with the people that are supposed to be in your life. The people that aren't will drop away. Things that aren't supposed to will drop away. We're the miracle. We are the miracle together in this. The miracle's all around us if you just take a look. I challenge you to live differently, to just get out of the programs, get out of the repetitive automatic cycles of 9 to 5 and the same old type of thinking, the same old type of living. And I also wanted to mention in the beginning of the video, and I didn't. I was talking about the purpose of the channel, my mission here now in the world. And I really want the people that I think will resonate best with this channel are the people that have been or are still in these kind of holes or darkness, the dark night of the soul, the dark parts of their life, the depressive. When I talk about the roller coaster and I say there's peaks and valleys, the people that are in the valleys, those are the people I really want to reach. And I really want to give inspiration and hope, because I know what it feels like to be there. It sucks. There's such a better life to live. It's a shift of thinking. It's a shift in the mind. So I think that's all I have to share today. Till next time.